Today, I'm going to discuss whether you're a business owner, CEO, COO, hospital system, the owner of the hospital system, a general physician, a doctor, business owner, no matter what your specialty or what your business interest, if you're treading beyond the gray line of the law, if you will, eventually you're going to get caught and it's not worth it. And so today, we're going to discuss Chesapeake Hospital System in Chesapeake, Virginia. And this is a hospital system. It's a hospital regional care medical center that they were indicted for healthcare fraud, for unnecessary surgical procedures. And therefore, if you're the CEO of a major hospital system, you're not going to be immune if it's on your watch. It's not possible. And so what happened here is that the hospital administrator overlooked a surgeon's previous, I won't get into more detail, but a surgeon's previous hospital termination. In other words, he was terminated from working at other hospitals, and then he also had a felony charges. And then ongoing issues at this particular hospital was overlooked due to the amount of money he was generating. And so the Department of Justice has a National Healthcare Fraud Act enforcement unit, and it's led and coordinated by a healthcare fraud unit of the criminal division's fraud section, and its core partners are the U.S. Attorney's offices, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Inspector General's office, which is HHS and OIG, Office of Inspector General, the FBI, and the Drug Enforcement Agency. The prosecutors then prosecute by Healthcare Fraud Strike Force, and these teams are the Criminal Division Fraud Section, U.S. Attorney's offices nationwide, in the State Attorney General's office. So now we're going to see what happened. The hospital granted privileges to Dr. Perwaz, despite knowing that his privileges had been terminated at a hospital where he had two felonies in 1996. And although these were 6 counts of felony tax fraud, and this was in April of 96, the Virginia Board of Medicine had revoked his medical license that was reinstated in July, several months later. After he was convicted of performing these irreversible hysterectomies and other medically unnecessary surgeries on women, the U.S. Attorney's Office continued to investigate, but now they investigated the role that Chesapeake Regional Medical Center played. And this is where it pulls in the administrative offices of the medical centers. And so all of a sudden, you have non-medical personnel are going to be facing civil large financial penalties and possible criminal penalties. In the end, the physician was sentenced to 59 years in prison. And we can go into this in detail. You can go into my website. This is a blog that was recently posted. But what I summarize here, that the hospital prioritized profits, jeopardized safety of many of their patients. And then to learn more, this is the actual transcript of the indictment rather, that you can see exactly what happened, but it's not pretty. And so whether you are the physician, you are the hospital administrator, even if you have a tax practice, if you are an attorney, or if you have no matter your business, if you hear that the feds are asking questions, or if you have hired someone and you realize that there are things that they may be doing that may not be above board, before something happens, you may want to separate yourself from that particular individual. But now is the time to seek legal representation. That's got to be the first thing that you do. And in legal representation, you want to start interviewing attorneys. As this is on the federal side, it's pretty basic, but you want to make sure that they can practice, they have experience in federal criminal defense in federal court with cases like yours. There are many other questions, but that definitely is the basic. Additionally, you want to be truthful with them, because you don't want to go ahead and start lying to them, because by the time you hear that the Department of Justice, the feds, the FBI, these different agencies are asking questions, they already have answers to everything. They know more about you than you know about you. The Department of Justice has a 98%, 97, 98% conviction rate. So if you want to go to trial, that's great. Just understand that their conviction rate is very, very high. And so you don't want to anger the court, because you may have to go back to that judge for leniency. Once you have an attorney, then the next thing you want to do is find someone like myself, if you want to engage my services, because you want to begin preparing for that second phase, which is the sentencing phase, as soon as possible. And you want to begin preparing right away. Only 2% win at trial. My name is Mark Blatstein, Dr. Blatstein or Dr. Mark. Phone is 240-888-7778. And I specialize in sentencing mitigation. We'll go back to the website for a brief moment. And we white collar sentencing mitigation solutions. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this video. And again, if you find yourselves in this position where you're facing an indictment, a target letter, you need legal representation first. And second, call me and I will help you either finding an attorney or after you found an attorney, preparing you for what comes next. Again, my phone number, 240-888-7778. Have a safe day and thank you for listening in.